Good morning, everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. For those of you who this is a rough day, September 11th. It was unbelievable. It's 19 years ago, and we all should take a minute and reflect about that particular day. It was and we all remember where we were that day. For those of us who were alive, because some of our listeners are probably too young to even remember this, but I remember it clearly, and I thank all the police and fire and everybody who got involved that day to rescue those who were still alive and to help those who were in great despair and were in a position where they never expected to be when they woke up that morning. So again, thank you all for coming, and hope all of you are surviving out in California, considering all the fires that are going on out there, and that all of you are making it through this very difficult pandemic period, which I'm hopeful that through all the brilliant people around the world will be solved soon enough. Okay, so let's start with the first question. Alana Smith, she tells us a little bit about her business. She said, I'm rebranding my academy, building a secondary company that complements the academy, wanting to start a referral marketing campaign for the school, and getting into the cannabis industry. My brain is overloaded and I'm getting nothing done. I can really relate to this because I'm in multiple ventures at the same time. So her question is, how do you decide on what to work on when you have a million ideas? I'm becoming less efficient because I'm so scattered in what to do and what to finish first. First of all, my mind works like a popcorn machine. I have ideas coming all the time. If I were you, I would go and write out each idea that you have in your head, find out which ideas would take the least amount of time to both execute but have the highest earning potential for you and that fit with what you do on a daily basis. So for instance, let's say you had a great idea for a new type of dry cleaning service, but you're really not in that business. That may not make the most sense to go and spend that time. But let's say that you're in the education business, which you are, and you've come up and decided you want to start an entrepreneurial classes, then that would make sense. Or you want to start offering classes for major corporations. So what I would do if I were you is write out your ideas, write out what it would take to execute those ideas, write out what it would cost to go and implement those ideas, and then create a spreadsheet on what you think the potential revenue could be over the next 5 years and what kind of people you would have to bring in onto this team in order to execute it. I have a new venture now I'm hoping to roll out soon, and we thought it would take 6 months to build, and it's taken over a year to build because we start learning new things all the time. So things take much longer than you think, and then you have to get other people involved that you never dreamed that you would have to also get involved in it. So again, look at things that relate to what you do on a daily basis. So you have expertise in that area, write everything out, share it with other people who give you honest opinions, spreadsheet all the cost and income, and then determine what makes the most sense and try to narrow down to one or two new ideas each year that you want to go and implement. More than that, you won't be able to give all those ideas enough time, and those things will end up cratering because they're all half-baked. Good luck with your new ideas. The next question is from Gabriel Race, and Gabriel's business description is, up until a few months ago, our company used to be a fully family-owned business with my parents and I being the three owners. Recently, a new partner bought part of the company, and thanks to resources he brought in, we're expanding in many more directions than before. Part of those resources is the staff he's brought in to help deal with our increasing number of projects. I'm personally overseeing some of these projects, and the more involved I get, the more I get the feeling that this new staff sees only our new partner as their actual boss. The question is, what steps can I take to establish my authority with employees and contractors a new business partner has brought in from his own network? So there's a couple things that I would do if I were you. One is I would go and meet with your partner and talk to them about this problem. And I would have the partner tell the employees that he is now a partner of yours, that you carry just as much weight as what he does. And then, of course, the one thing that you're going to do to win them over is showing them that you're very competent, that they can trust your leadership. Because when they're used to a certain leader and the way he does things, it takes a little while to win them over. So there's going to be a certain amount of patience that's required. The other thing I've done, and I've done 4 turnarounds where I've come in and worked with organizations where they had reported to other people and I was the new person. I try to go and have lunches with groups of the employees and talk about things that would be interesting to make some common ground. So for instance, I'm in Philadelphia, so I might talk about the Eagles, or I might talk about what I'm doing with my kids, or I'll ask them what are they doing with their kids. The idea of humanizing ourselves with the people that we work with makes it easier to develop a rapport, a connection with them, because that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. If people like you, respect you, think you're smart, want to work for you, feel they're treated well, they'll go that extra mile. They'll want to come and work for you. But it's going to require being patient and knowing that it's going to take time. And it's not going to happen right away. No matter what you do, it's not going to happen right away. And even if he tells them to treat you the same way, which is a part of the process, you're still going to have to win them over, just like he has to win over your employees so they respect him because they don't really know him. And now that's going to be required on his part. So again, take the time to get to know them, put in the extra effort, and over time it will be fine because they'll see how smart, clever, hardworking that you are, that you can be trusted, that they can come to you with problems, and then over time it will all work out. The next question is from Joe Nugent. Joe, I own a home inspection and home watch company. And my question is, where do I find the best way to automate my business, and what person besides me would be best to help implement those initiatives? So if you're looking to automate your business and you are not particularly good at it, there are lots of consultants out there that are very good at helping you figure out what's the best way to go and automate your business. So I would go and contact your Chamber of Commerce. I would look on trade associations with operations people. I would contact SCORE and ask them. And most importantly, and I hope you're already doing this, and that is asking our leader, Sean, who he might suggest to introduce you to help you work through the problem of automation and helping you with the implementation of this. Because somebody who really has done it before, has laid it out, they're the best possible people to go get involved, and it will shorten the cycle for you to be successful. Our next question comes from, and I'm sure I'm butchering this name, Van Wyk, W-Y-K. Here's a description of his business. Right now, the rate at which I'm getting projects and daily tasks done is too slow. This is hurting both my company's efficiency and my ability to make money. At first, I thought I was scheduling issue, but even if I have a strict schedule, I'm not sure I would be able to work fast enough during my blocks of time, because I put here, but if I had to summarize them, they are all some form of, I am doing this the right way. Am I doing this the right way? So then that leads me to do more research, which leads to more analysis and paralysis. And another, it should, because in the back of my head, I'm thinking, is this making sense? Am I leaving out any important information? Dang it, now I'm behind on other things. And hopefully that enough context. Thanks in advance for your help. The elevator pitch. We help leaders of any kind get their message across in a more personal and impactful way through teaching the art and science of communication. So this person does communications consulting, and their question is, how have you been able to overcome preventing or overthinking so you get more done with each day? I like to write everything out. And so one of the things that you could go and do is write down everything that you want to get done that particular day and set a time period during the course of the day that you will get this done. And one of the things I think that really takes time away from us being more efficient is all the emails that come in. So what I like to do is I like to answer emails in blocks, and I also like to feel like I've gotten something done. So what I'll do is I'll spend a couple hours answering emails and then putting them on my computer and letting them pile up. And then when I'm done, I can see, oh, there's 32 emails I completed. So now I feel a sense of accomplishment, and I click on it and I send it out. The other thing I do is I say to myself, what things don't I really need to do today? What things don't I really need to answer right now that I can put it off? And I put those aside. In fact, I even create a file on my computer and move those documents, those emails to that particular file, and then I deal with them later. So for instance, there's a lot of things I get on Gmail, and I wait till the weekends to answer them because there's no time element here. I don't have to get those done, but the things I have to get done for my clients, they need to get done faster than yesterday because you're always trying to underpromise and overdeliver. So the thing to do is write out, develop a plan for your particular day. Say, here are the 3 or 4 things I must get done today, and focus on those things. Here's the secondary and the tertiary ones that I want to get done. Or here are things I can just put off until the weekend, and I can work on those on Sunday because you need to take some time off to recharge your batteries. So get yourself organized. Only focus on the things that you know need to be done for your clients and for getting new clients. The next question, and best of luck fan on that, comes from Christopher Joseph. Christopher tells us, this is something I've struggled with as a young entrepreneur for a while. While it doesn't often happen, when it does, I'm not sure where to push through it, even though I don't feel efficient, or whether it's my body telling me to take a break so I can reset. I just want to understand if this is normal for entrepreneurs to feel this way sometimes. His question is, do successful people ever hit a wall and get overwhelmed or stressed? And if so, what do you do to push through it? Of course, everybody feels like they hit a wall because you're taking on so many things. And today, you can't even relax. Like you go and fly on a plane and they have Wi-Fi. And so you feel like, geez, I could answer those emails. I could get this work done. Or the fact is that because you have email and internet access 24/7, you always feel there's one more thing you can do. And you keep pushing yourself. And instead of giving yourself some time to breathe and recharge your batteries, you go and tackle another new thing. Or you figure, it's okay. I love what I'm doing. I can work the 6 days a week, but how long can you make that work for you before you feel a chance of burning out? So there has to be some work-life balance. You know, the idea of working 40 hours a week, that probably is not going to happen because today with so many things going on and so competitive out there, more than likely you're not going to work less than 50 hours a week. That being said, the thing you should do is take up some hobbies and do some things that will allow you to de-stress yourself. My big thing is every morning between 6 and 6:30 a.m., I ride on my bike for 45 minutes to an hour, listening to a book on tape, which I really enjoy. Then during the course of the day, I take an hour for lunch and I watch a TV show that I enjoy and I eat something that I like to have. At night, I have a salad. I still do some more work, but I have the TV playing in the background. And so for me, that distresses me a lot. I feel I'm able to go to sleep. My girlfriend's always shocked that I'm like a light bulb. As soon as I hit the bed, I'm out and I wake up the next morning. I feel refreshed and I don't feel tired in the least. One of the things I do before I go to bed, and I do this all the time, I read anything that isn't business related. So I'll read a mystery, a biography, a suspense novel, because that allows me to clear my brain so I can sleep easier at night. So I don't want anything that's going to be stimulating. I want things that are going to de-stimulate me before I go to sleep. So it's not unusual to feel overwhelmed and stressed, but what you need to do is realize what's stressing you out, get rid of things that you don't absolutely have to go and do, and exercise is really, really key to distressing yourself. Even if it's walking, walking your dog, taking a walk with friends, going for a run. I have an uncle who loves to go and row in a river. Any of those things is going to be helpful for you. But you can't be just work, work, work. You have to go and try some things like spin cycling classes, yoga. I have a cousin of mine who's a very successful lawyer, and he does a lot of yoga and meditation. That helps him. So find the thing that works for you. But again, if you're a high achiever, yes, you're going to feel overwhelmed. That just goes with being somebody who's super successful. And everybody who's part of our group, they're all super successful people. Next question comes from Tatiana Rachel. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. Rachelle. Oh, and her last name is Blood. Tatiana Rachel Blood. So Tatiana tells me, I'm breaking into a women's accessory business with a new product. What makes it unique is a new feature I'm adding to the accessory. I think it's a good idea, and the women I've talked to about it seem to like the idea. Excuse me a second. Should I go for it, and what kind of research could I do, or should I do before I invest in branding and creating my own line store? I want to pursue the direct-to-consumer model. So the question is, how important is it to do market research when developing a new product? Well, I would say that market research, and if I were you, I would go and do a lot of market research before I jump in. But market research is only part of it, because like Steve Jobs said, nobody ever thought about the iPad and many of the products that Apple's created. So even if you had done research on it, it might not have told you anything. But research enhances your chances of wasting time and money. So for instance, I had this idea to provide bankers with a new type of marketing service. And I went out and talked to 10 bankers, and the banker said, well, that's interesting. You know, we tried something like that once long ago, but it didn't kind of work out. But I thought it had great potential. So I talked to the 10 bankers, and then I surveyed 100 customers. The customers thought it was interesting, but I didn't get a large enough number to show that this really had great potential. And when the bank said they were leery about really wanting to spend money on this particular idea, I felt, okay, why should I keep pursuing this? Because nobody really is going to go and embrace it, and it'll be nothing but an uphill battle. There's a very famous entrepreneur that I deal with, and he has this new idea. And essentially, it's telling the story of a company and creating an audio tape about the culture of the company. He hasn't been able to get anybody who wants to spend the money doing this during the course of the year. So if basically the market is telling you, I'm not really interested in this particular idea, and yet he keeps moving forward with it. And I think the problem is that he loves the idea himself. And if it was out there and he could buy it, he would have bought it for the company that he had built. And so sometimes entrepreneurs fall in love with something that nobody else really cares about. I know somebody else who has a really cool electronic device, and I wonder, why would somebody actually buy this particular product? Have you yet tested it out? Survey people just to get a sense. Because let's say that you survey 100 people. That's a conjoint survey. And 100 usually is a good barometer. You get 100 responses. If 60% of those people said, I love this idea, okay, you can cut that number in half. Now we know that's 30%, because there's a good chunk of people who are going to tell you what you want to hear. And unless they actually had to write a check for it, then they wouldn't do it. So now you're down to 30%. you can go to those same people and say, if I can give you the chance to buy this product in advance, and if you prepay for this, I'll knock 20% off the price for you, which you see happen all the time on Facebook. Somebody offers out something new. That would also give you a good idea if people are willing to do it, because people always say, oh, that's a great idea. And then we ask them to write the check for it. Well, I'm not so sure. I don't know if this is a good fit for me. The only way you can tell is to do that market research, see who your competitors are out there, what they're offering, have they been successful, is there room for you? If there are no competitors out there, go do a survey. And even somebody like SurveyMonkey has the ability for you to put a survey and pay for it to get out to a certain number of people so you can see what the response was going to be. So again, market research enhances your chances of making sure you don't make a big mistake. But at the end of the day, until people actually see it and touch it and experience it, you really don't know. But it is a good guide to do the market research. My last question here is from Ashley Abed. Ashley describes her business as, I'm investing in a new venture and super excited. I'm going to play the operational partner who organizes plans and keeps things moving forward. What software, planners, tools can I start mastering and learning in order to be the best partner to my partners? Thanks, Peter. How do I really get my mindset in the right place to be ready to be a leader in a new venture I'm getting into with 2 other people? Again, I'm a big person in writing everything out and in sharing. So a lot of people love to use Google Docs. And the beauty of Google Docs is that you can put everything up there, your team can see it, and they can make changes to those Google Docs. And Google Docs doesn't cost you anything. And there's a lot of great tools that Google offers that are all free that you can go and use. And the more you are organized and the more that you over communicate with your partners, the better you are. It's when people don't communicate enough. And when they do communicate, they're not asking people, am I clear in my communication? Did it make sense what I said? Is there anything that you're not understanding here? Don't automatically assume that people understand whatever you're telling them or whatever you're doing, or that they know what you're doing. So the tools I would use are all the free tools that Google offers. And I would make sure that I always over communicated to people, both verbally and emails, sending them documents, keeping them up to speed on things. And if they feel it's too much, then they can let you know, let's just do it this way. And you'll come to a resolution about what's the best way to communicate information to your partners. But again, great tools that are free are Google. I use both Google and a lot of the Microsoft tools, which I think are incredibly helpful. And the other thing is that you might go and ask other friends and other organizations that are your size, what are they using, and find out and also utilize those as well. Well, I hope all of you have a safe day. I hope all of you are staying healthy. And remember, take the time to go and exercise. Take the time to read a good book. Have a good meal. It shouldn't be all work 24/7 all the time. In fact, during this pandemic, I think we're all working that much harder because we don't have so many options open to us outside of going outside and going in nature or riding a bike, because we're not really able to play basketball, or we're not able to go play sports with other friends because we have to be so careful. And please, everybody, wear your mask, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure other people are safe. That's the point of it all. Best of luck. Look forward to speaking to you next month and look forward to getting your questions. Hope all of you have a great day and a great weekend.